I bet just like our guest James Williams, you have a lot to offer. And Joy Varnish has lots of places where your offerings would be appreciated. Joy is the Executive Director of Greater Cleveland Volunteers, and James is a 10-year volunteer veteran. And they're both here today to encourage you to engage in the happiness of helping. Excellent. I like how that's phrased there. So,
that sounds great.
Joy, first tell me how it works. A person comes to you and says, I want to volunteer. So what do you do? What happens next?
Well, we have a staff of volunteer coordinators, and they interview each volunteer to find out about their interests, availability, if they have a particular agency they're interested in going to, if there's a particular type of volunteer opportunity they wish to be engaged in. And then what we do is match each volunteer with the needs of the nonprofit agencies that we partner with. Okay. And we work with over 100 different organizations throughout the county, so there's a lot of different opportunities.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a lot of work to do with everybody. So how many volunteers do you actually, how many are you working with?
Well, on any given day, we have over 2,000 active volunteers. People come and go, you know, and we are always recruiting new people. And
any age requirements?
Oh, just 18 and over.
Okay.
So our current pool of volunteers are aged 18 to 98.
98, really?
Yeah.
Great, great. They keep it active there.
Yes,
so
excellent.
And James, you're one of those volunteers. Now, I understand one of the things you did was a literacy tutor. So how did that come about, and tell us about that job?
Well, first, in terms of volunteering, it started back when I was in banking, and during that time, the bank partnered with the Cleveland Public School System.
Okay.
And they adopted a school, and they were asking for volunteers in the evening to make phone calls to parents of the students who weren't attending school. I got my feet wet with a little of that. After banking, my first year tutoring was part-time. I enjoyed it so much I got smitten. And the next year I asked for a full-time position to tutor it, and I've been tutoring on a full-time basis ever since.
All right. So how many students do you get to see?
On a week, it's 6 students that I typically see through the week. And it's about 40 minutes for each student each day. It's about 3 times a week that I see each student.
All right, that's very helpful.
Yes.
You're also a lunchtime mentor? So what is that program?
Absolutely, another program I love, something I love to do. The My Mentor, My Friend is the program, and it's a lunchtime program where you meet with the student once a week, okay? You're paired up with a student who has some issues, okay? So I come alongside that student, and on each session that we have for each lunch, we perhaps maybe play games, backgammon, chess, or something like that. But then at the same time, too, we get to discuss his issues, okay? How he can turn a situation around.
Like social issues or emotional issues, things like that?
Absolutely, yes. Okay. Additionally, I try to point him towards, on the longevity schedule, to look down the road and see what he'd like to do with his life, okay? And that is this is just, let's say grade level 4, just a portion or a time or building block towards establishing a career. And want him to get career-minded in that. He can do those things right now in preparation for that.
Excellent. So, Joy, you particularly like seniors as volunteers. Why is that?
Well, we love our older adult volunteers. They have more time to give. Most of them are retired, so they often are able to volunteer more, like James does, in several days a week. And also because they just have such a great work ethic. They have a lot of life skills and experience that they can share through their volunteer work.
Yeah, that's great. So, are you looking to share your time and talents? Look no further than Greater Cleveland Volunteers. To find out more, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Joy and James for volunteering to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
For more information, call the Greater Cleveland Volunteers at 216-391-9500 or click to www.greaterclevelandvolunteers.org. Next, little-known tax breaks when you hire a home caregiver.